Last night's performance by Giannis was absolutely historic, and I immediately tweeted last night, and it's not hyperbolic, and I'm not embellishing at all when I say that last night's performance was, in the moment, one of the top 5 greatest NBA Finals performances of all time. To me, I actually have it as a top 3 moment. It's the greatest NBA Finals moment that I personally have ever witnessed. Now, again, we can argue maybe order, but at the very least, it's a top 5 moment and a top 5 performance in NBA Finals history. There are obviously a bunch of other honorary mentions. You've got Wilt Chamberlain in 1970 against the Knicks. In Game 6, drops 45 points, 27 rebounds to force a Game 7 against the Knicks. They ultimately lost. But that's the thing is, when you think about performances that resulted in wins, those are the ones that stick out more than losses. There are plenty of performances that have been absolutely sensational, but may have resulted in losses, or a series has been lost. Allen Iverson in 2001 with the 76ers against the Lakers drops 48 points in Game 1, has the step over on Ty Lue. Legendary performance. They ended up winning in overtime that game. LeBron had an unbelievable Game 1 against the Warriors in 2018. 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. That's the JR forgot how much time is left on the clock game. They ultimately lost that game in overtime. But for an individual performance, it was absolutely legendary. Jerry West, Game 1 of the 1969 Finals against the Boston Celtics, drops 53 points in that win. So we've seen some incredible performances, but didn't always result in wins, or didn't result in a series win. So to me, when I saw Giannis's performance yesterday, there were only a couple of select performances that, to me, have topped that. I think that the number 1 play, either number 1 or number 2, Magic Johnson in 1980, when the Lakers were playing the Philadelphia 76ers. It's Game 6 on the road in Philly, and the Lakers are without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so Magic Johnson has to fill in at the center position, and he drops 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists in his rookie season. His first year in the NBA, he comes in and puts on that type of performance. So the stakes of that performance is what's special. The fact that he was able to produce that, especially on the road, is what's so memorable. You also have Michael Jordan. Obviously, you can point to a number of performances, but he drops 45 points against the Utah Jazz in 1998, Game 6. The shot over Byron Russell with 5 seconds left to win his 6th NBA title. Excuse me. That's how excited I got. Hits the game winner over Byron Russell with 5 seconds left to go 6-0 in the NBA Finals on the road in Utah and Salt Lake City against Karl Malone, John Stockton, in that raucous, adverse, hostile environment. And I think right behind those two is Giannis's performance last night. Those are the only 2 performances that I can say definitively maybe edge Giannis's performance of 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, 2 assists, 17 of 19 from the free throw line in a title clinching game in the NBA Finals, to win a championship for the state of Wisconsin, for the city of Milwaukee, for the Bucks franchise, for the first title in 51 years since 1971. And right now, Giannis is the second greatest, and I think with that performance yesterday, that elevated him to the second greatest Milwaukee Buck of all time. By the end of his career, he'll probably have surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because I think Kareem will be more known for his accomplishments, obviously, with the Lakers. So the only, excuse me, wow. I was trying to hold that in as best as I could. Could not at all. Could not hold in that sneeze at all. The only other performance, so those are three. The only other performance, Bob Pettit in 1958, he also dropped 50 points in a win for the St. Louis Hawks over the Boston Celtics. And the reason why that was impressive was because the Boston Celtics had won 11 of 13 possible NBA titles from 1957 to 1969. The only NBA finals they lost was to Bob Pettit and the St. Louis Hawks in 1958, and he drops 50 points and 19 rebounds. So outside of those, Giannis, his performance to me is a top 3 performance of all time. It's without question a top 3 performance of all time. And the mere fact that it's in this discussion, the fact that it is ranked so highly so far, so quickly right now, puts it in discussion and in contention for the greatest NBA Finals performance of all time. It's possible. I don't know if it will eclipse some of the other performances, but the difference is that, yes, the 50 points is impressive offensively, showing his offensive prowess, attacking the rim. It's mesmerizing to see. But what's more impressive about what Giannis did is what he did on the defensive side of the ball. The 5 blocks, the swarming, the chasing down Mikal Bridges, the multiple blocks in this game, contesting every single shot, DeAndre Ayton getting smothered. That is what was impressive. The help side defense, challenging at the rim. That's what was impressive about this performance for Giannis. So that's kind of where I have this performance as it stacks up with some of the all-time greats. It is right now a top 3 performance in NBA Finals history. You can debate the order, but that's where it's at.